Hello trail dogs. Everyone knows what one of these is, and there are many people who would suggest that it is the most important tool in your toolbox. But how many of you know what one of these is and why this could be the most important tool in your toolbox and why Sophie should have used it? Stick around and we'll show you. My name is Gary. Welcome to One by Bikes. So this insignificant piece of metal is actually a chain wear indicator. It is used to measure wear on your chain, and it is very important for a very simple reason, and that is cost. Mountain biking is ferociously expensive. Everything costs lots of money. However, this little piece is very inexpensive and the money it can save you is phenomenal. I'll make that work for you. Okay, this is Miles's bike. It's ready for us to look at his chain. Here's our chain wear indicator. You pop it in to the chain like that, and then what you're supposed to do is try and push this bit down until it won't go any further. Now, so you can see there, after a really hard push, more than I should have done, it's not really going in. Miles's chain is almost brand new. Let's have a look at my chain. So here's my bike with my chain, and if we do the same thing again, hook it in, and then now you see, yeah, it's gone down to about 50%. Now, at this point, you should be getting ready to change your chain. I think I'm going to change mine anyway. Now, why should Sophie have been looking at this or using this tool? Let's have a look at Sophie's bike, shall we? So if we look at the wear on Sophie's chain, in goes the tool, and if I let go of it there, it's gone all the way in. Yeah, there's no doubt about that at all. That is a worn chain. So right, let's change the chain, shall we? Yeah, not so fast. Unfortunately, Sophie's chain is so worn that the wear on the chain has also damaged the cassette. As two metal things rub together, eventually they will imprint onto each other. So the chain wear on Sophie's chain has also worn a pattern into her cassette. If we now try and change the chain out, it will slip on the cassette. The only thing you can do in this situation is continue to run the same old chain and the same old cassette until you can't stand the shifting anymore. We're talking vagueness, we're talking ghost shifting, we're talking not shifting. It's a nightmare, but there's nothing you can do unless you change both the cassette and the chain. Now a chain costs about 30 euros, but a cassette, that is a substantially heftier proposition. Chain 30 euros, cassette more like 150 euros. Fortunately, we have both. Oh, I forgot to say, if you just try change the chain and run the old cassette, you will get this amazing chain slip. The chain will slip from one cog to another, giving you a really disconcerting clang, and if you're climbing, maybe an accident. So let's change both the cassette and the chain. And while we're at it, I think I'm going to change my chain too. Bikes in the stand. To change the chain, you will need master link pliers. If you have a master link, you will need a chain breaker, and you will obviously need a chain. Right, so we need to get the old chain off first. So in with the master link pliers, squeeze, remove the master link pliers, and remove the chain. Now I've already put it into the highest gear, or the smallest cog on the back. That will become apparent soon. So let's get this off. Now then, this chain, like a miscreant child, is no good. So it needs to go towards, it needs to be recycled. Don't just dump it in a hedgeway somewhere. Make sure you go to your local dump and recycle it. Some proper metal in here. And here we have our wonderful new chain with, there's one of the master links. We don't want that in just yet. There we go, master link. That's half of it. Pop that there. There's the other one. Ta-da! Pop that there and we'll get the chain out. Now, when I first started working on mountain bikes, I mean, I've been working on bicycles since I was about 8, fixing punctures and putting pedals and stuff on. Mountain bikes are a little bit more complicated, and the very first time I had to size a chain for myself, I did what most people would do, and I went on to YouTube to have a look, and there I found advice from a very reputable company saying do it like this. So I did it like that and it didn't work. So allow me to show you the way I do it. And if you think it's rubbish, feel free to tell me in the comments. So let's get this onto here first. That one there, thank you very much, sir. And I'll thread this through onto the smallest one, because I know it's the smallest one. Okay then, so what I've done is I put the chain on top of the chainring. I've wedged the pedal on the other side with a pencil. I mean, you can use anything as long as it doesn't damage any of the bike's frame or whatever. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this. I'm going to open my pen first. But I'm going to pull this across. Put some tension on the chain. I hope you can see that. And we're going to see where this wants to go. I think that there is too tight. That angle there, I can let it go a bit further back. Right, if you look there, I think that's about perfect. So this is how much chain we've got left. This link here is the one we need to take out, and then the master link will go between there and there. So if we take our pen and mark there, and that's where we're going to cut the chain. So I'm sure you all know how to use one of these. Clip that into place. That is the one we're cutting, there's the black mark. Try opening this properly. Black mark in there. Seems unusually stiff. Tighten that up. And then just take out the pin. Click. Click. So then I've still got it wedged there, but I've now put there's like a little catch on SRAM derailleurs that you can just poop in. Can't poop in it, no, but you can push it in and it will hold the derailleur in that kind of position, which gives you plenty of free room to play with. So now all we need to do is join this up. And using the master link pliers, click. That's it. You hear the click from the catch there. There we go. And that's it. Chain is on. Now then, many of you will have noticed that I did actually change the chain on my bike and not Sophie's bike, and Sophie's chain is still hanging there, all kind of lonely and broken and not working very well. But don't worry, we have a new chain for her as well, and more importantly, a new cassette, because this one is jiggered completely. Right, so to take the cassette off, you will need a big pry bar. You will also need a chain whip to hold the cassette still while you pry bar the old one off. And it is just a case of using brute force. So in it goes, and see if we can get it first time without swearing, crying, or drawing blood. Or all of those. Reasonably painless. Getting it back on is a lot easier, particularly with the SRAM variants. There really is a competition between SRAM and Shimano, and we've got both. I don't know which I prefer. I'll tell you what I can do, I can shorten the throw on this and make it easier to handle. Yeah, I don't know which I prefer, SRAM or Shimano, generally speaking, apart from I know I don't like Shimano brakes. They are on or they are off, and that's about your lot. Alright, how are we doing? Chain whip off. I have to say as well, I do actually prefer working with bikes on the floor like that. I just find it easier. It comes from, oh, still not there yet. It comes from being a kid, turning BMXs upside down and just working on them like that. Last few turns by hand, and there we are. Right, get its hub cleaned up a bit, get some fresh grease on it, and then we'll put that on. Okay, so we've cleaned the old grease off. Time to put some new grease on. We use the muck off stuff because it smells of blackcurrant. A few little bits on, which I've gone a bit wild there. But we are going to torque it down so it doesn't matter, and any excess I can wipe off afterwards. Right. Old cassette gone, new cassette here. Okay, that's it on. All we need to do now is torque it down, or torque it up. Right, this is to 40 Newton meters, which is quite high, but then we want it to stay on, don't we? Well, Sophie certainly does. That's it, 40 Newton meters. All done and dusted. New cassette, ready to go. Now, shall I change the chain for her as well? I think I might as well, yeah. There we go, as promised, a brand new chain for Sophie as well. I have to say, I do like a quick link. I think they're just brilliant. Much better than the old way, which I was no good at. Right, so we've changed the cassette, we've changed the chain. Now it's important that these two screws here, this one corresponds to this ring here, and this one corresponds to that ring there. These are your limit screws. These stop the derailleur physically going too far that way, that one, and too far that way, that one. So set your limits, and then using and then set your indexing by using the barrel adjuster here. And that's it. Sophie's bike is ready to ride. There you go then, trail dogs. An insignificant piece of metal can save you not insignificant sums of cash. It is so important to check your chain wear, because if you don't check your chain wear, you're not just buying a new chain, you're buying a new cassette as well. We run the GX, so a new cassette for us is about 150 euros. If you're into the XO ones or the XX ones, you're talking hundreds of euros, maybe 250 euros just for the cassette. Then there's the chain as well. Maybe you're talking even your front chainring, but we run the steel front chainrings. They're much harder wearing and you don't need to replace them as often, and they work just the same as all the other chainrings. So there, Yabu, sucks to you. You with your magnesium, titanium, nah, if you got them, good for you. Anyway, that was a bit of a factual show this week. Next week, I can promise you more facts, because yesterday I did a film, spent all day editing it, and then realized, damn, can't put it out yet because I've got another piece of film to film for it. There is something good coming next week. Make sure you tune in for that, because I promise you it's going to be a good one. Better than this one, maybe. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, drop us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comments box. That's what the comments box is there for. It's not just to be blithely ignored like some unwanted child. What else was I going to say? We have now a presence on Facebook. Look us up on Facebook. We have been on Instagram for quite some time. It's Sophie that runs the Instagram account. She would love to hear from you. She shares a photo or something every single day. Why am I still waving this around? I have no idea. There, it's gone. Never to be thought of again until the next time you check your chain. If your chain starts to ghost, if your chain starts to miss a beat, just give it a check with a chain checker. If it needs changing, I would suggest if you get to 50%, order your new chain. Because by the time you get from 50% to I need a new chain right now, won't be that long. Trust me on that. Hope you've enjoyed this lot. If you haven't, don't watch again, ever. If you have, please watch again all the time. Go and look at our back catalogue. We have now over 70 episodes, and we just did that lot from holiday. There's 14, 15 films in that, all well worth watching. See you next time. I do need to say something else, don't I? Oh yeah, just in case you forgot, one buy is one more better. Is it not?